Jazz grew up in 1,000 places, but it was born in New Orleans, which was in the early 1800s the most cosmopolitan and the most musical city in America. But New Orleans was also a major center of the slave trade, still tolerated in a country that had just proclaimed that all men were created equal, and the descendants of the human beings who were its living currency would eventually create the most American of art forms, jazz.
Whoa, the captain said, hurry along.
The whole conception of improvisation is a part of all of American life. If you were a slave, you had to learn how to improvise. You came on the land, you couldn't speak the language. You had all kind of foods and stuff you weren't used to eat. You have another whole system to deal with. If you can't improvise, you're going to be in a world of trouble. You're not going to be able to survive.
Jazz is about freedom. It's about a certain kind of liberation. There have been other people, of course, have been oppressed in the United States or gone through brutal treatment in the United States. But only African Americans were enslaved. Only African Americans were legally a people who have a legacy and history, historical consciousness of having been unfree in a free country.
Beginning in 1817, slaves in New Orleans were permitted to sing and dance every Sunday afternoon in a place called Congo Square. To the curious whites, who sometimes turned out to see and hear them, the slaves' music, filled with complex percussive rhythms, seemed to provide an authentic glimpse of Africa. But most of the slaves in Congo Square had never seen Africa. Many were recent arrivals from the West Indies, their music filled with the infectious pulse of the Caribbean.
I see the sign.
Other slaves had been brought to the city from the interior of the American South, bringing with them work songs, spirituals, and the call and response of the Baptist Church.
Dark cloud rising, dark cloud rising, dark cloud rising. That's the sign of the judgment. That's the sign of the judgment.